Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. I've been reading a lot of Magi. Maggie. A lot. What I mean a lot, today I was up to reading, I was up to a chapter 44. I'm up to chapter 81. I know what happens. I know things. I know things about certain characters. But loose lips shake ships. So I'm not saying a word. But I will say this. It's fucking awesome. There's a slight possibility, if I catch up to this manga, reviews. Who knows? It might replace... Of course, that's a little bit too much, but, you know, you get the gist. Okay. Fairy Tail, chapter review. Chapter 316. This one was called Acceleration Towards a Doomed Future. Now, with last week's bullshit that I pulled off of me saying 5 out of 5, you know, it was probably out of my fucking mind when I said that. I was delusional. Very delusional. So delusional. This week, even though the setup of the two fights that we got set up, we got the conclusion of the whole Minerva Urza thing. And it wasn't really... I'll tell you right now what happened. Basically, you know, she tells Urza, "Oh, you're the main you're the main course." Like, oh, she's food, Minerva says. And, you know, Kagura says, "Oh, but protect Miliana." I was like, "Oh, that kitty cat?" And you see her, and Miliana's filled with wounds. She's, yeah, she basically roughed her up. She, messed her up and shit. And basically she took out 2 people, meaning she's now has 50, has got 55 points. So on and so forth. And that means more or less that Mermaid Heel is out of competition. And she did a pretty number on her, Minerva. Put scars and scratches on her back. Even there's some scratches on her guild thing. And there's blood and everything. And she was entertaining herself with that. And then Mirza gives her a fucking look like, "Bitch, I'm gonna cut your fucking head off." And that's pretty much what happened there. So that's it. That's it. That's it. Then we go to the other 2 fights. Let me say it right now. Let me say it right now. Hiro, oh man, he's on the chopping block. He's on the chopping block here. This is important. If he fucks up the other 2 fights, there will be hell to pay. There will be hell to pay. Now, the first fight is GAJEEL and Rogue. And that's what GAJEEL throwing a few punches. He punches him with a iron fist. And, you know, and he's saying, "Oh, to Rogue, you ain't gonna pass fast me this day." You know, so on and so forth. And I know Rogue saying, "You don't have the same strength as Natsu." And then, oh, GAJEEL's like, "What was that?" And then we go to the other fight, ORGA and LAXUS. But guess what? And this got me a little hyped. This got me a little hyped. JURA shows up. I'm like, oh shit. That is what I'm talking about. Now, you know, he shows up basically, and you know, he's saying, "Oh," and I wonder, and then he says, "Oh, I stumbled across a couple of heavyweights." And JURA, mind if I joined in? And he's just standing there. I was like, damn! JURA's dead saints! And then Lux said, "I gotta butt heads with a true beast." And that's what happens. And then we got some bullshit going on. Shelia and Juvia and Gray is there, and Leon. I'm not gonna bullshit with the summary here. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. But basically, it seems like these 4 are still there. And they could still fight. And seems like and Juvia's all gushy over Gray and everything, and so on and so forth. And after that, we go back to Natsu. Now, they're talking about, I'll make this very quick. They were just basically talking about the whole thing with, how they're going to get out of there, and the whole thing with the future Lucy, and she basically begins to explain what's going on. And after she explains, we go from right there to Dalton. I think that's his name. Dalton. Minister of, the king and the princess. And basically, what is happening is they're discussing. And, I forgot to mention also, future Lucy begins to tell him what is going to happen. And saying that, we're all going to be imprisoned again, blah, blah, blah. The story. And that's when we go to the princess, and she says, this person told me that a herd, heard me correctly, a herd of 10,000 dragons are coming to destroy the country. The area they are in. A Fiore. When I hear something like that, the first thing I have to say is, okay, you have to repeat that because I'm getting sometimes I get crazy things happening in my ears. Can you repeat that? 10,000 dragons? A herd of 10,000 dragons will come to destroy the... Where the fuck did these dragons come from? That's the only question I have to say. That is the number one question. Number one. Now, if it's the same place that Igneel is in, the same place Igneel and Grenadine are from, then fine. But are you telling me this is 316? Hiro has never explained these dragons. Never explained where they came from, where they are, Now all of a sudden, 10,000 of them coming here. Where the fuck did they come from? Where the fuck? And that's why this week's chapter, I'm giving it a 3.5, people. I'm sorry, but that totally pissed me off. I'm like, where did they come from? Did someone just say, here we go, there's 10,000? You can't do that shit. But I'm holding that's the reason I'm giving it a 3.5. So I'm holding back because I want to hear more about this. If next week we find out, they came from this place, fine. But if Hiro just brings out these dragons and they're destroying everything, and we have no idea where they came from, that's fucking bullshit. Now, as far as the fights are concerned, and the only other thing and then she was basically telling him the number of over 10,000 dragons ravaging our kingdom. And that countless lives will be lost. And these are the words of sanity and disposition. That person let me to decide. The results of the Grand Magic Tournament shall guide my answer. Can those living in the present alter the time? Next week's chapter, and it says next week's chapter will be a 23-page special with color pages and a confession from future Lucy. And that's how it ends. With the whole... And you see a page of the dragons attacking the castle. And it says the next chapter is going to be called Frog. Out of the three, Medica Box, Kenichi, and Fairy Tail. Kenichi and Medica Box were better. Yes, were better than Fairy Tail. Giving it a 3.5 out of 5. That is the highest I can possibly go. Hell, I should give this a 3. Why? Even though I am hyped up like a motherfucker for JURA, LAXUS, and ORGA, Hiro's got to deliver on that fight. And he's got to deliver on Sting, on GAJEEL and Rogue. You got to deliver. Because everyone is going to fucking hate you in this fucking manga if you don't. It will... Duh! But as far as the dragons are concerned, I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath. It's as simple as that. That's why this is giving 3.5 out of 5. It was good, but you are just throwing this. You're just saying, oh, 10,000 dragons. Really? By the way, hiro. Where do they come from? You never explained that. You have over 300 chapters, and you haven't explained that. They disappeared over, what, 14 years ago, I guess you can say, because of the 7-year skip now. And we don't know where they went. And now, all of a sudden, 10,000 are coming! Details, hiro. Details. I want details. So, that's the way I look at it. I want details. Don't get me wrong. Probably gonna use that thumbnail with the dragons. They look different. They look different. They look fierce. Those dragons look fucking fierce. If they're gonna look like that, I'll be like, wow, that's awesome. But I want to know, where the fuck are they coming from? You can't just say, oh, 10,000 dragons, yeah! No. You gotta explain that shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm hyped about the dragons. I'm hyped about JURA and LAXUS and ORGA. And I'm guessing Lurs is gonna somehow get out of that situation. I don't know. It doesn't look good for her. And the thing about it is even if GAJEEL wins and LAXUS, actually, now I think about it, LAXUS, he's not got a good opportunity. If he can beat both of them, holy shit, that'd be great. If he could beat JURA, he'll get some points. So the premise of this final fight now, of this final match, of the last day of the tournament, is seemingly, if LAXUS has a good fight and he's able to beat ORGA and JURA, I think they'll win. But if they win on that note, I'll be fucking happy. I will be happy. I will be happy because you got an upper tier person going ham, and that will be awesome. But, you know, we will wait and see. Now, like I said, the setup looks good, but hiro has got to deliver. Because if he doesn't, he's getting the troll face. It's as simple as that. Now, the dragons, like I said, and that's the last thing I'm going to say, he's got to explain it. I really like dragons. I have, like, let's see, I got, like, about 2 or 3 dragon statue busts in my room. I got one up on my radio. I think I showed this to you guys. It's a blue dragon with a sphere in his hand. It's awesome. I really like dragons. I love them. But you got to explain where they came from. You can't just say, oh, 10,000. I heard of 10,000 dragons are coming to destroy the country. The kingdom. Yeah. No. Where did they come from? You got to explain that shit. If they came from where Ignil came, is where he was stationed a couple of chapters. Remember the beginning of the fight, the troll fight between having Sting and Rogue tag team against Natsu and GAJEEL. And we saw before the match started, we saw Ignil. If those dragons are coming from where Ignil is, then okay. But if not, you gotta explain that, man. Before they hit and destroy the kingdom, you gotta explain that. You can't just throw that in and just say, oh yeah, it's a... No. Over 300 chapters, and he hasn't explained where the dragons fucking came from. He didn't even explain why they disappeared. Fuck. Come on, man. Explanation time. But yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. So that's my thoughts on it. So we'll see next week, Frog. It seems like we're going to get an explanation from Future Lucy. That should explain a few things. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So this has been Bonkai922. I will see you guys later. I will do Kenichi soon. Now, like I said, I was reading Magi. Oh, man. You guys don't know what you're in for. The episodes? Yeah, they're going to be awesome. Awesome. I know what happens. It's awesome. Can't wait for that shit. But yeah, this is Bonkai922. I'll see you guys later. Dragons. Gotta explain where they came from. Can't just throw them in there. Okay, hiro? See ya.